You've found The Naked Truth. Lively discussions about business, marketing, and personal development for small business owners. No hype, just help.
Happy Friday! Dean is here watching us on YouTube. Dean, hop on in. Let's have a conversation.
Friday.
So, happy Friday, everybody. Happy Friday, Paul Ramsey.
Happy Friday. I think I've earned it this week.
You what?
I said I think I've earned it this week.
Yeah, right?
Oh, what a week.
It's been a week. Have you seen what happened yesterday on Twitter?
No.
So Bitcoin hackers hacked like major account, like all the verified accounts. Bill Gates,
I did
Obama.
see an
You saw
article
that?
about that. I didn't know it was through Twitter, but yeah, hit a bunch of crypto. Yeah,
Yeah.
what actually happened?
So it's very interesting, right? So they hacked into all the accounts and they put a message saying, if you send us 1,000 Bitcoins, we're going to double it. And because it came from verified account, people actually sent money. And so Twitter, like hundreds of thousands, like tens of thousands of dollars. I think they had $100,000 or something like that. And so Twitter blocked all the verified accounts. So everybody with a verified account could not tweet. And Trevor
Wow.
Noah goes like, so I'm a famous person. How come I didn't get hacked? He goes like, but they blocked my account because I'm a verified account. I'm a famous person, and I couldn't
Right.
tweet for a few hours. And he goes like, funny enough, Mr. President's account wasn't hacked. so,
So
so a
strange.
billionaire that owns fudge, what does he own? I forget. So one of the billionaires said, "Hey, I'm going to pay $1 million to anyone who can bring in the hackers." Um, and his account was hacked. I was like, what was he? If you're watching us right now and you know what I'm talking about, which one of those billionaires said, "Hey, I'm going to put up $1 million if you bring in the hackers"? He's some Bitcoin guy. So
Oh, yeah.
yeah, so that was really fascinating. And I was like, and why was it fascinating to me? It's kind of like I just lost my LinkedIn account, right? And I was like, oh,
Right.
so all of you kind of lost your accounts for a few hours and you weren't able to communicate for a little while. And what does it say? Don't build your home on rented properties, right? Because you can communicate in different ways. But just really fascinating. This whole
Strange.
what you have access to and what you don't. YouTube is updating their APIs now, sending everybody an email and saying like, hey, if you're using our API, just so you know, you're gonna be under audit and you need to make sure that your videos are fine. So things are getting tighter.
It makes sense though, right? Because it's a success. It worked. So now there'll be replication of success, right? So they'll say, all right, how can we do this on other things besides Twitter? That makes yeah.
Really interesting, really, really fascinating how that works. And so yesterday I was interviewed on Social Chefs, and they were talking about a new policy that comes to Facebook, where they are going to start kind of like YouTube, giving copyrights for artists for music and stuff like that.
Yep.
Um, and what's fascinating to me, and I love that Dean is here because I'd love to hear it from an artist. I'm not an artist, so I don't know how that works, but I'm assuming that as an artist and someone who creates music, you want your stuff to go viral, right? You want everybody to be listening to your song. And people like Lindsey Sterling, who started with American Idol and got booed off the stage with American Idol because she plays the violin and dances at the same time. And Simon said, there's no market for that. Who wants to watch someone playing the violin and dancing? And she went to YouTube and became famous, right? So now she has like millions of views for every YouTube, and now she got booked with like tours. She's selling merch, she's selling her albums and everything because of YouTube. And she puts everything out there for free, right? For people to listen to it. And then people do covers and she does covers. And so as an artist, I'm thinking if someone is taking your music and using it on social and other people like it and they share it, then do you not make more money from sponsorships from then saying like, hey, I have an audience, I have listeners, here's some merch, here's some tickets. Like you actually build an audience rather than like, hey, I need someone to represent me, and every time my song is being played, I need to get like 10 cents for it because you're not making much for every play. So I don't know. Dean, what do you think? Oh, we can't hear you.
You gotta mute him. Is he muted?
He's
not
unmuted.
muted.
No, he's unmuted, but we can't
That's
hear
weird.
you. Bring in your microphone. And if you guys are watching us right now, you want to be part of the conversation, hop on in here, bethenakedtruth.com/live.
Dean, check your settings. It's got to be your settings because you're not muted. So just check your settings, and when you get it going, let us know.
Yeah, hop on in. So if you guys are watching us and you are artist, or you are creating music, or you are creating some kind of thing where, you know, there's licensing fees and some royalties, how does that work in your world? I don't know, right? Like, what are your thoughts?
There's so many layers to that, you know, because I've been in that world, the entertainment world, and I have people that I've trained who are also in that. Like, I have two of my stage training students have been on America's Got Talent. One didn't make it out of auditions. The other one got, this is a great story. I'm allowed to tell it now. I wasn't allowed to tell it for a long time. I had a student that I trained in stage hypnotism who was on an AGT. He got 4 yeses from the judges.
Oh, wow.
And then got kicked afterward. Like, that's how controlled all that stuff is.
So
you know,
wait, so he got 4 yeses and then what?
Yeah, so if you watch America's Got Talent, they have the 4 judges, right? And they can give you a yes or a no.
Right.
And if you get 4, then it's unanimous. Like, you move on. Well, no, you don't necessarily. Like, he got 4 yeses, and then, you know, again, everyone takes what they see on TV as like that's the real. No, it's not. It's not real. It's all managed. So he got 4 yeses. Then he went back to college and waited for them to tell him to come for the next round. And then they called him and they were like, sorry, we gave too many yeses to too many people, so we had to cut. And you're one of the people we cut. And so think about, like, so he went and did his thing and smashed it, did this great piece. Tyra Banks, Simon Cowell, Howie, and someone else. And they all like loved it and gave him 4 yeses, and then got the call afterwards saying, sorry, you're not going to be on after
He got
all.
the yes from Simon and he got cut?
He got a yes from Simon. This is where he got a yes from Simon, but he also got what I think Simon does that a lot of people struggle with is Simon recognizes talent and will criticize that talent as like hey, I'm trying to give you a hint here, you know?
Yeah.
And so he recognized my student's talent, but also recognized a flaw in his presentation, like his personality, and criticized him and said, like, basically said, you're boring. Like, you're really good at what you do, but you're boring.
What was he
And
doing? What is he doing?
So he was my student. I trained him in hypnotism, but he also knew magic and he knew mentalism. He knows he does all 3. And so he did a mentalism bit first, and then he was going to do hypnotism as he got deeper into the show. He killed the mentalism bit. He's very smart and has sort of a dry sense of humor. And, you know, dry humor doesn't go real well on a pop show like AGT, you know? So Simon basically was like, you're really good. You're handsome, you're young, but you're kind of like dry and intellectual, right? So it's almost like my student was 19 when he was on the show, but if you hang out with him, you feel like he's like an old soul almost. Like when he talks to you, you feel like he's like a 30-year-old guy, you know? Like, and so Simon was basically saying, like, change this, like pep yourself up more somehow, make yourself more dramatic, and you'll go farther. So he comes back, tells me, right? He goes, well, I got through this, but Simon said I was boring and da-da-da-da. And I was like, but you get he's trying to help you, right? So we worked on that, and he made some great adjustments, and he planned this next routine, sent them a demo because they want to see what you're going to do next. You can't just roll in and do it. He sent them the demo. It was so smart what he had done, and they were like, nah, well, you're all done.
That's a bummer.
It's a business, right?
Yeah,
it's a
yeah,
business.
yeah. It's the entertainment
It is
business.
not about your creative expression.
Well, for that, you have YouTube, kind of like Lindsay Sterling, right? And you can build your own audience, and you don't have to do that. Dean, can we hear you now?
Check 1, 2, 3, check,
Yeah,
check.
There he
just
goes.
Get into the
So-
center a little bit so we can see you.
Oh,
the other center. There
There
he
you go.
yeah. Yeah, what's going on, Paul? How's it
How you
going?
been, man?
Man, great, man. I wrote down, like, I needed to redo some research to find out who you are.
Yeah.
And I didn't remember because I heard you talking to Yifat about, you told your agent not to book you. So I'm like, who's this guy? I'm like, he has an agent? What does he do? So tell me, Paul, what do you do?
So I do a few things, but yeah, it's cool. I've been a performer for 16 years. I started in 2004, and I'm a hypnotist. So I built a niche in the college market. So hypnotism, you can perform on cruise ships, at state fairs, at corporate events, high schools, campgrounds, all different kinds of things. And I have done just about everything. The only thing I haven't done is I haven't performed in Las Vegas, and I haven't performed on cruise ships. But I've done pretty much everything else. But my specialty is college market. And so I have an agent who specializes in the college market. And I've been touring around the country doing shows for colleges since 2004.
Mucho
It's a cool job. It's a
dinero.
lot of fun. It's nice. It's good. Yeah. But here's the hard thing, Dean. This is where, I can't, it's all gone right now. It'll come back someday, but
Yeah.
right now it's gone. Like nobody's doing group entertainment, theaters are not doing it. Broadway's closed until 2021. Like
gosh.
every way you can think of doing a performance in public in the traditional sense is gone right now. So I'm working on other things. And
Hey, you know what I just
Yeah.
realized? I realized that you just had the same experience that Ken Davenport had from you, Paul.
yeah, right. Yeah.
That's the guy I'm getting ready to mention because he seemed pretty uncomfortable, Davenport, because he was explaining how, he doesn't really like to do this thing, but man, he's grateful, but he's so used to doing, the in-person connection on Broadway and whatnot. But it is what it is, guys. It's just the world that you and I know it has changed. And
Completely.
Yeah.
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 It's overnight,
Yeah.
Yeah. So what do you think about the music thing, Dean? Where the licensing and all that stuff.
Yeah, so I started digging in a little bit deeper last night. By the way, you killed. I don't know. You're just a great human being. You fat. You just did so great on that show. And
Thank you.
allowed me to watch from top to bottom, from the start to the end. And sometimes when the show's long, I can't get to watch
Thank
it.
you.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah. So, anytime that a software is getting ready to pay more attention to music creators, of course, that grabs my attention because it's something that I oftentimes preach. And when we talked a little bit last week about TikTok and what's going on over there. So Facebook, I think it's a good thing. They're trying to sort of bring copyright more, make more responsible decisions. It's all about sort of making sure the creators get what they deserve. And
Yeah, but
because
let's talk about that for a second, right? Because
Yes.
don't you wanna get spread, go viral, if you will, with your
yeah,
music?
and so that part is the bittersweet part because every person, like you said earlier, wants to go viral. It is how we make our money, it's how we are known.
Right.
Our story gets distributed right across the world on various platforms. So that's the bittersweet part. I don't know what would cause them to do it that way. So I'm not fully like briefed on it, but I'm digging deeper and deeper and deeper.
So is all these copyrights and all that stuff, is that actually helping artists, or is it kind of like, making people not use their music because it's not licensed, and now it's harder for you to market yourself because nobody's using it or playing it, or,
Yeah, so it's definitely great question, by the way, and I like those questions. So it's definitely helping the artists, or more so the music creators, because every artist that sings a song, they're not always the writer, and so it's the writers that sort of get the royalties. So let's go to Facebook, for instance. So they signed a major record deal, deal with two major record labels.
yeah.
A few years ago. So and that's why anytime you use music in your stories, Facebook stories, and you can choose any artist, so those artists that are a part of that deal, of course that generates a royalty for sure. However, the local artists, anytime you release a song and you release that song and send it to Apple Music, they also signed a deal with Apple Music. So now on your Facebook story, Paul has to let his dog out. So on your Facebook stories, then you can now look up a local artist, an artist that doesn't have a major record deal. It could be anyone. Your next door neighbor just put out a single last night and he's not a well-known artist. But as long as his music is on Apple Music, you can find it on Facebook stories, and that bring awareness. So it's definitely helping the artists and the music creators for sure.
So it seems to me like if you're starting out as an artist, you actually want people, you don't want all these licenses, you don't want all these deals and all that stuff. You want your music out there. You want to get an audience, people going like, ooh, I love this song. Let me go check out the album. Let me go check out the website and, start following you and sharing you and listening to you. And it seems like all these like copyrighted and licensing things and all that stuff is actually preventing you from getting out there, right?
Well, it seems that way, but to the content owner,
Yeah.
they are excited. So to the regular person who just wants to use a song, and it's very frustrating, by the way, because even me as a music publisher, I try to use music sometimes just to test the waters, and I get flagged because I'm not supposed to. But what it does, it protects the content writer. Now, and we still have freedom in America, because in the EAU, the Article 13 that got passed probably a year ago in Europe and a lot of different countries, you can't use content that you don't own in those countries.
You
Right?
can't
And
use
so that's
content
why
that you own,
you don't own.
that you
That you
don't
don't.
own.
Yes. So in America, there's this huge industry for covers. Like we can
Right,
cover someone's
right.
song
Right.
and even make money from that because we own
Right.
what's called the sound recording or the master.
Right.
But in the EU, you just can't do it. They block all that stuff. So we still have a sense of freedom here, and it's frustrating because you're trying to use all kinds of music on your Facebook Live and your stories. But the best way to fix that is just to sign up like at a different like a third-party software. I use Epidemic Sound. It's $15 a month, and they literally protect you on Facebook, Instagram, Twitch, YouTube. No copyright claims, no copyright strikes.
Oh, that's cool. That's good to know.
So that reminds me of, this is where we get into like it's tactics, right? It's like
Yeah.
what's your tactical deployment on your creation? Like I went to Patreon once and I subscribed. I wanted royalty-free music for my videos and for my hypnosis audio recordings that I was making. And I found this guy on Patreon who for $10 a month, he had an entire library of royalty-free stuff. And he's like, you can use it however you want. Put it on YouTube. I won't make any claims on it.
Yeah.
Put it on another video or recording of yours and sell it. I won't make a claim. And this guy had built this library to the point where the tracking said he was doing $6,000 a month.
Wow. Wow.
Yeah, he was six. So you think about how many people at $10
Dude.
a month you got to do to stay at $6,000 a month.
Well, but you sent him to me,
nothing
right?
going.
So you sent him to me. I paid him, right? I sent someone else. It's like,
Yeah. But again, you think if you're trying to be crafty, so what you could do, and he knew this, is you could pay $10 for 1 month.
Yeah.
You could go in and download every single song he had made, and then you could stop paying him, and all he got out of it was $10, and he still had enough that he was doing $6,000 a month, right? And so, like, he worked out a pretty good system. He built followership, and he knew he was providing huge value, and I was like, wow, there's a lot of different things you can do.
Yeah, and let me just say to your listeners and your viewers, so you said, oh, I don't have $10 a month or I don't have $15 a month, but I want to be able to just put tracks or songs on my Facebook Live, on my Facebook videos or YouTube. Now, what a lot of people don't realize is that Facebook and YouTube have their own royalty-free music.
Right. Yeah, they do.
100%. On Facebook, it's the Facebook Creator Studio, and you can download a song or just a track, no words, or just a sound effect. that's free, royalty free. YouTube is the same. It's called YouTube Library, Audio Library.
Right.
Now, what you need to pay attention to is attribution, because some of the creators on there might say, "Hey, if you're going to use my music, it's free, but I need for you to make mention of me
Right.
in the description or something like that. And if you don't, you can get into trouble." But
Yeah, and
you
you
know,
see a lot of people
it's
do that, right? Like they put it on the video, music by that line, right?
yeah. Well,
Yeah.
they do that thinking that it's what you called oh my goodness, that thingy. When you try to get the rights for something, but you just put, "I don't own the rights to this music, so and so own the rights," but that doesn't make it right. Yeah, there's a term.
Oh, yeah, people put almost like a disclaimer
Yeah, but
where
it
they're
doesn't
like,
work like
I'm
that.
not
Yeah,
pirating anything, but I'm still
exactly.
using it.
Yeah, but it doesn't make it right. It- yeah, exactly. It doesn't make it right at all.
Yeah, and you go, actually, that's you pirating something.
Well, but that's a very interesting
Fair use.
conversation, right? Like what's pirating and what's just sharing it. So that's where I'm
So-
going like with, if you are a musician, if
Yeah.
you're Sting, right, or whatever, like you won't become Sting unless people are listening to you all the time. And since nobody's listening to the radio and we're all listening to online stuff, don't you just want people to be like, "Oh my God, this is so cool. Paul, listen to this. Oh my God, it's so cool. Where's the album?" Right? Like, who's the artist?
So-
Let's talk to him.
So like that's you reverse engineering a business attitude toward music though, Ifat, right? Like and it's, so you're not wrong, right? But like that's only one way of look. You take that and go across everything we do. Like, look, some people become lawyers because they want to make a lot of money. Some people become lawyers because they want to feel powerful, and some people become lawyers because they want to help people. Right? Like everyone's got different reasons that they're doing their thing, right? Like, so when I got into performing, it was because I wanted to be on stage and feel like a hot shit, like, and I knew I could make some good money, right? So you have these different things. You go, that'll check that box and this will check that box, and then, right? But you just can't, by what you're trying to do, you're almost plugging everyone into a box. Like, why doesn't everyone get it the way I get it? It's because they're not
No,
even.
but what I'm saying is like if you just want to be a musician for the sake of music, then you don't care, right? Because you're like just for the sake. If you
And
do,
there's
wait,
a
but-
lot of people like that. Like there's the starving artist mentality
Right.
that there are people who would rather have what they think is beautiful stuff they're creating, and they actually wear it as a badge of honor that they're
Right.
not making money.
Right.
Because that to them, they have something they adopted where that's honoring the art,
Right.
That-
and
that-
then you have the other side that wants to make money from it, but you're saying like in order to make money you have to build an audience and show that there's demand, so you shouldn't care because you want people to share it, so you build an audience and you build demand, and that's when you get it. Right? So in both cases it's kind of like, don't you want people to listen to you? If you want to make money or not want to make money, don't you want people to listen to you and share it with each other?
So,
Well,
so
go ahead, Dean.
yeah. So here's the thing with that. So the word that I was trying to use earlier is fair use, right?
Yes.
So they will put, I don't own the rights to this music, so that they think that it's okay, and it's not always the case. Now, fair use, of course, it's something that you need to pay attention to. It is something that really works if you understand it. Fair use is basically when you're adding value, when you're taking that thing and you're not necessarily, you're kind of putting your spin on it. However, the content owner always has the right to issue what's called a DMCA, Digital Millennium Act. So let's say I own the content and Paul rebroadcast my content and in the name of fair use. But for some reason, I don't like Paul's voice on my content. It's mine, right? And even if Paul signed a deal giving him the rights to use my content, I'm still the original owner. I can issue with my lawyer, issue a DMCA to YouTube and say, hey, I want this content down. I don't like the way it's representing my brand, and I want it taken down. Now, and here's the trick with that. Even if Paul has the rights, YouTube's job has to their job is to remove that content, take it down until the court has settled such thing. Now, and it's very complicated. Music is a complicated thing, the music business part.
Yeah.
So kind of like what Aoife was saying earlier, so anytime someone sings a song, like you want them to cover your song. You want them to sing it over. That's how you generate income. That's how you generate a buzz. But at the same time, that's like YouTube is known for that stuff. You can't always do that on every other platform. So it's not an even slate here. Everything is just unbalanced. But I would say go the proper route. Right now, YouTube is the most secured place where you can cover someone else's song and not be penalized. Because the days of you just getting blocked just like that, it's kind of like over, because every content owner wants to make money. So they'll place ads on what belongs to them.
Right.
And that's fine, right? Like this is perfect. So then, awesome. Put ads on it and then let as many people as possible use it and create it, right? And then monetize them.
Yes.
Like there's so many ways that you don't have to get into this picky battle of like, that's my shit. Well, I don't know. I think like everything online is being ripped off anyway, right? Like whatever you're going to put online, someone's going to copy the layout, the graphics, the text, the headlines. You put it online, it's done. And where it's coming to music, you can actually use it in a way of like, okay, fantastic, take it and spread it, because that's what I want to do, right? But let's move to this one. What are we giving away today? What are we giving
Wait,
away?
we have to add. Did we? There were late people who commented after we
all
were
in.
live yesterday.
They're all in. They're all
You
in.
got them?
I
You're the
got 'em.
best.
Hi there. Thank you.
Oh, wow.
So
I
what
wanna
we're
give
giving
away
away, we are actually giving away, did we say 20, 30, 50, how much time did we say we're giving away, Paul?
I thought we said we were doing a. I don't know if we set a time. I don't remember now.
A little
We said we were
consultation.
doing the site consult, right?
Yes, we're doing a site consult. So because this week we spent talking about website, Canva, what else did we talk about?
We did analytics. We did
Canva.
Canva. We did like all like stuff to help
How
your
we're using it, right?
yeah
Like we
your
showed
site
you
grow,
our
your
flow.
content grow, your brand grow.
Yeah. So if you guys want any, so we decided that since you've been watching us the whole week, you can win a consult where we can actually look at what you're having right now and we can help you with that. So let's see who's going to be our lucky winner.
Look at those names. I love it.
Yeah. Dum, da, da, da.
Just got over. Oh, I got well over there.
Anati Roman. So Anati, yay, Anati, reach out to us, comment below, get in touch so we can set up a consultation with you, look over your things, and help you with any questions that you might have. So do that and join us Monday when we're starting a new week and a new story and a new vibe. And
I got us a really cool guest for next week. Did you see my email? I'm not going to say who it is now, but I'm telling you, I got us a really cool guest that you're all going to like. It's going to be on Wednesday. You're going to want to be there. What are you going to do this weekend, Ifat?
so I'm launching my workshop Wednesday. I'm launching my workshop
You're doing
Wednesday.
your final stuff.
So yeah, you and I need to
Crossing
talk.
the
But
T's and dotting the I's. What about you,
Yes.
Dean? What are you going to do this weekend?
Yeah, so I need to finish my course on how to live stream easy with StreamYard. It's already recorded. I just need to add the mobile piece because they released mobile streaming about 3 weeks ago. I need to add that piece. And I'm also preparing to batch produce about 10 videos so that I can be more consistent on YouTube and to be like you guys.
there you go.
Nice.
There you go.
Good job.
Yeah.
Well, now I feel like I'm lazy. No,
Are you taking the weekend off? Is that what you're doing?
I'm not. I am. I'm packing. I'm packing. I'm getting closer to selling my house, and so I'm going to spend the weekend packing and putting things in storage, and getting ready to sell this house off and go to the next big
Phase of your
project,
life.
which is a secret for now, but because I don't want to jinx it. But
I know. So have a fantastic weekend, everybody. Thanks for joining us. Good to see you, Dean, as always.
yeah, thanks, Dean.
Yeah.
So much. It means the world to me. You have no idea. Thank you so much.
Awesome. We'll see you next time.
Hey, If you enjoyed today's episode, come back and spend more time with us. You could be on the broadcast sharing your thoughts. We hang out live Monday through Friday at 2 p.m. Eastern at www.bethenakedtruth.com/live.